Hello everybody, this is Armastis and you're watching Armastis Live, and we're starting a little late. Apologies, but it's better than last time. I remember to push the button. I did, so we are streaming. It's unlike last time where I did a completely entire stream and I forgot to push the button. That was tedious and a little embarrassing. Yeah, a little embarrassing, but anyway, we're back. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Long weekend for some of you. For some of us, right? We got a long weekend. And even if it's not a long weekend, I still hope it is a wonderful, enjoyable weekend. I hope you're all doing well. You're taking care of yourselves. You're showing love, compassion, kindness to yourselves, to others. All of that good stuff, because the world needs it. And we should be some lights to the world. Okay, so today we got another deck profile. And we are calling this deck profile Earth's Fury Samurais. And of course, as always, there are links to the deck profile in the video description. I got also links to my email, so if you ever want to just hit me up, say hello, drop me an email, I will respond always. And always keep emails confidential unless otherwise you give me permission, or I ask, of course. And what else is there? Oh yeah, so as I mentioned last time, a few announcements. This channel right here on YouTube will remain on YouTube as live. I was streaming multiple to Twitch and YouTube. I'm no longer doing that on Twitch because Twitch people don't really want to watch this. They want to watch people play games, right? I mean, typically. So what I'm going to be doing is, because I've never played Final Fantasy 14, and I don't know a lot of the characters from the TCG, you know, like in the game. Actually, and I'm sorry, it's not that I've never played Final Fantasy 14. I have played a little bit of it long time ago. I just didn't like it, and I didn't play that much of it. But we're gonna jump back in. Supposedly it's gotten better, and we're gonna do that over there on my Twitch channel called Armastis Life, not Armastis Live, and there are links to that as well. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow, and all of that. We are at, how many people are we at? I think like 52 or something like that, which is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's get up to 100, because once we do 100, we will do a giveaway and it will be worthwhile. And you know, if there's only 100 people you're competing with, right, one person will have a, get a chance to win something. And it's 1 out of 100. You know, it's better odds than playing the lottery, I guess. I mean, right? Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's see. Any other announcements? Trying to think. I could have sworn I had something else to tell you all, and I just cannot remember off the top of my head. As soon as I pushed the play button, my mind just went completely blank. Oh yeah. So tomorrow we may do an extra stream on Saturday. It's snowy here in the Seattle area, so I typically go and play Final Fantasy TCG with a friend. But I think tomorrow we're probably going to do something else. Probably open just another one, just a box, away from the series of opening box 12 to 1. We'll probably just doing another box, just because I'm super anxious and I want to open up some boxes, and they just stare at me every day. And I think that's it. And of course, Sunday we have some news coming to you. Okay, I'm done babbling. Let's get ready and do this. Okay, so here we are, and so this is not my build. This is actually, I want to give credit where credit is due, right? I want to point out that this build is inspired, the build that I made is inspired by this build. And I was curious as to what this link led to, and it turns out it links to, Titus's cheesy laugh in Final Fantasy X. That's all it is. So yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna go there. So this is, this was the build. Again, this was not mine. I just cloned it. This one's not public because I don't want to take credit for this one. Yeah, this is again just another Samurai Earth build. My build looks almost identical, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna go through this together because this is also a very popular build in the meta right now, and I have a lot of fun with it. And so here is mine. It's pretty much the same, but let's talk through everything one by one. So of course this is a samurai build, and there's various samurai builds right now in the meta that exists. Some of them are just like usually just all fire, and then some of them do like some Ifrita kind of like mixed to them. I like this one because I'm kind of having a hard time doing like a mono element build. I don't know why. It's just that it's just so much more colorful and interesting to me. Have different colors in a build, and so I went with this one. This was, of course, Earth with some samurai stuff, and I do like this one because there's a lot of power hitters in this one. So let's how do I want to start this? I guess we're gonna go ahead and start with the Earth stuff before we jump into samurai. So what we have for this one currently is we have a few Earth highlights in here to kind of just, you know, bring up the deck. And so starting here with Krill, we all know Krill. Krill is super popular. She's all over the place. In fact, spoiler, I got a cool top 8 Opus 12 video coming soon with some cool graphics and animations. I spent a long time on it. It's nothing like grand, but you know, it is definitely a leap forward in terms of like the quality of this video. I'm super proud of it. I hope you watch it. I hope you like it. And if you don't like it, let me know. If you don't like this, let me know. And be honest, like seriously, it won't hurt my feelings. Anyway, so Krill here is in this build, and of course, Krill is just he's like our recycler, really. That's really what she's here for, to continue to use summons, but then also the advantage of using summons from your opponent's side as well. And of course we have Tyro to make sure we help, and even Shantoto in here to help us, you know, be able to utilize different elements if we need to, if we're going to utilize summons from our opponent's build as well. So the other big one in here, the big boy, is of course Shadow Lord. I've talked about this card many times. I'm a big fan of this card. It is 2 cost. It is only 2 cost CP 9k hitter. This thing is redunculous. The downside is that your opponent can play 1 backup of cost 2 or less from their hand onto the field. I have a hard time seeing where that's a downside, and I think many of you would agree with me. Let me know if you don't. Maybe there's something I'm not getting, but I don't see any downside, honestly, to this behemoth of a forward here. So it's cost 2, and then you can pay 1 Earth, and until the end of the turn, Shadow Lord gains Brave, which just means it doesn't dull when it attacks. And then it basically an experts that results as a result of hitting your opponent. It doesn't happen. It cannot be used. It's just dulls out. So let's see. Our other Earth in here, of course, is the Black Potois. Is that an L or an I? I don't know. I never know how to say that. I want to say Ilchi Gilgamesh, I think, right? Anyway, it's a Gilgamesh card, another 9k beast. This one also has Brave, so it does not dull, just automatically in there. From Typo, and it's Black Portis. Gilgamesh cannot become dull by your opponent's summons or abilities, cannot be returned to its owner's hand by your opponent's summons or abilities, and cannot be put into the break zone by your opponent's summons or abilities. If Black Portis, I know it's Portis, I just like saying Portois, is broken, put it into the break zone. So this thing is basically immune to all the things. It is a beast of a card. You know, it might as well have like the text of like immune to COVID-19 in there too. But nothing can, basically it is very much anti-ice, water, and lightning kind of build. It can be dealt damage. It can be Amaterasu, obviously it can be dealt damage, and then broken and would go into the break zone. But other than that, it's not going to be returned to the hand. It's not going to be dulled by your opponent. It's not going to what else is there here? It's not just going to be broken, you know, by like a lightning card or anything like that. It's pretty dang good. It's cost 6, but it's worth the cost. It's not a bad deal. And then just some support from the other Earth stuff. We have Mist Dragon in here because Mist Dragon is just a good counter overall, and just other great abilities. Also, you know, can play with the break zone. If your opponent's targeting something, you can respond to that, of course. A forward you control, you know, can also be protected from damage. So honestly, a Mist Dragon with Black Tortoise here, or Tortoise, it's going to, yeah, you're basically running almost an invincible card. This is going to be a pain for your opponent to deal with. And then Finra here, this is just a great summon because specifically we're running a lot of Earth cost 2 forwards. And that last effect right there with Finra, choose 1 Earth forward of cost 2 in your break zone and play it onto the field dull, which is just awesome. Everything else here obviously is just like a cherry on top, but that last effect, it's really nice, especially if you have, and most likely you're gonna have already a Shadow Lord or a Krill in there. And of course, if you have Krill in there and you bring her out with Finra, you can just recycle your Finra again. It's a super awesome card. And then we have, of course, Star Sybil here with our backup. Star Sybil, I've talked about this card so many times. I love this card. I'm seeing actually a lot more usage of this card, which makes me really happy. According to FFDex, and go to ffdex.com. That's where I use all my stuff. It's kind of where I base a lot of my information and data. They get a lot of good stats and data and all sorts of cool stuff about the TCG in there. Anyway. So Star Sybil has X-Burst, of course. You search for a category 11 card, except Star Sybil, and add it to your hand. Well, what are our 11 cards? Well, let's go through and take a quick gander. So for our 11s, we've got Tenzin, which is obviously amazing. And we also have, what kind of sword we had? Oh yes, Shadow Lord, duh. So really, we're going to be looking for our Shadow Lords, Tenzins, but we can also look for a Shantoto, right? Is it any character? Yeah, so Shantoto as well. And I think, I don't think there were any other ones in here. I think it's all we missed. So it's going to help you search out your Shantoto if you need it, a Tenzin if you need one, or a Shadow Lord if you need one, of course. And then the other effect is you can just put Star Sybil into the Breakstone and just play a forward of cost 6 or less from your hand. So it's easy to just bring out one of these big old beasts out here. And then, so let's go and circle back again to now our, actually, let's talk about why. So Braskus, we just have Braskus in here more as a tech card, just to add some more pressure. Braskus is just an all-around good card. There's one in here. I know the other build had Braskus in here, but I like to add in Braskus if ever possible whenever I'm running fire anyway, because Braskus is just such a great power beast of a card. And you're adding so much pressure by having both Tortoise or Tortoise and Braskus in here. I really like it. Some other cool, fun, techie stuff in here is we have, Terra. Well, Terra's fun and techie, but Terra is also in here because we were using fire. And of course, she'll do extra 2,000 damage. From forwards, so Amaterasu, Ifrits, or Belias, I think. No, Ifrits and Amaterasu. So she'll add an extra 2k on that for damage, and then lets you bring back a summon, of course, into your hand. But Lanny here is just in here because, well, Lanny's just fun. I like this card. I do think it is a bit more techy, but it is a 4 cost, 7k, which isn't bad. It's not terrible. The upside though is it is kind of a plus card. You don't know what you're gonna get, but the fact that you do get a deducted card from the top of your opponent's deck, and get to cast it with 2 CV of any element, and your opponent doesn't get to look at it, is really pretty good. And then I think, let's see here, I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's a question I am a little curious about too. If you don't use the card, I think the card just gets removed. I think. I need to check on the rulings of that, but yeah. So when landing enters the field, your opponent removes the top card of their deck from the game face down. You can look at it and or cast it as though you owned it at any time. You could normally cast it. So if not, I don't know if it goes back on the top. I'm not sure on that. Let me know if it does, because I really don't know. But anyway, she's in here. I do like her. She's fun to play. And so now let's go ahead and let's talk about our samurais here. So to start us off here, we have Iroha. She's fantastic. She's pretty much staple now. Oh, and she's also searchable here with Star Sybil. Hello, she's 11. So Iroha here, if a fire character you control deals damage to a forward, the damage increases by 1,000 instead. Choose one forward, deal it 1000 damage for the Dole effect there on the side. So she's really great. She's going to be doing, she's only 3 costs. She's 7k power. She's going to be doing 1000 damage anyway, which is super awesome. On top of that, she has the increasing of 1000 damage whenever a fire character you control deals damage to a forward. So I think this also may apply to herself. Let me know. I think what this means then, if you choose one forward and deal it 1000 with her effect, she may just make that actually 2000. And of course, that gets compounded with like Terra's effect and even Cyan's effect, which we will talk about kind of last here. We're going to move on first to Hien. If you control a Job Samurai other than Hien, Hien gains 1000 power and Brave. When a Job Samurai forward you control attacks, all the forwards you control gain 1000 power until the end of the turn. So that's pretty awesome. Basically, so the way I read this, and correct me if I'm wrong, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I read this is this, okay? Hien's going to get 1000 power, going to get Brave just for having a Job Samurai on the field, which you're going to most likely almost all the time have, okay? On top of that, if or when a Job Samurai forward you control, when it attacks, all the forwards you control gain 1000 power until the end of the turn. So if you have 3 forwards out there, and you know, when you so if you have 3 samurai, let's just say you have 3 samurai out there, and Hien attacks, right? They're all gaining 1000, and then say Cyan attacks. They're all gaining another 1000, and then a Roja attacks. They're all gaining another 1000, so they're gaining 3000. I think my understanding, right, is that they're just basically it's compounding. It's just gaining 1000 each time. So super troublesome. It's a pain to deal with if you're the one that has to look down Hien. Super amazing card. Okay, so the next final forward of our build here is Cyan the Crayon. So Mr. Crayon here with the stash is super incredible. I can't believe he's a bit of a rare. Like, he should be at least a hero card in my opinion, if not a legend. He's got X Burst. When Cyan enters the field, it lets you search for one Job Samurai or card named Samurai other than Cyan and add it to your hand. So that's incredible. But when a Job Samurai or a card named Samurai you control attacks, deal 1000 damage for each Job Samurai or card named Samurai you control to all the forwards opponent controls. What? It is ridiculous. So right off the bat, okay, worst case scenario, if all you had was Cyan out on the field, Cyan's just gonna do 1000 damage to all the forwards when it declares an attack. 1000 damage to all the forwards your opponent controls. But that will rarely happen. You're gonna at least have a backup that's most likely a Samurai. So then now you're doing 2000 damage, okay? But even then, you're probably going to already have 3 or 4 forwards out there with Samurai. Probably. Maybe on average, right, per game. So you're going to be doing 3 to 4,000 each time a Samurai or a card named Samurai you control attacks. So again, if you had Iroha and Cyan and Hien out there, right, and let's just say one backup Samurai, that's already 4,000. Hien attacks 4,000 everything. Cyan attacks 4,000 and everything. Iroha attacks 4,000 and everything. That's 12,000 damage to forwards opponent controls. That's ridiculous. That is insane. And actually, that was the last forward. What am I talking about? Of course, we have Tenzin here. Tenzin from Opus 12 is just a fantastic card. I love this card. He looks cool. So Brave, of course, as well. Another card with Brave. At the end of your turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Notice that is at the end of every turn. You're looking at the top 5 cards of your deck. You're going to add one Job Samurai or one card named Samurai among them to your hand and return the others to the bottom of the deck in any order. That's pretty typical for cards like this. When Tenzin leaves the field, you choose one Samurai or card named Samurai of cost 3 or less in your break zone and add it to your hand. So no matter what happens to Tenzin, even if he comes out and he just immediately gets destroyed or something, you know, I don't know, whatever takes him out, you're going to already get a +1 as long as you have, of course, a Samurai of cost 3 or less in your break zone into your hand. So that's pretty incredible. It's a great card. Cost 6 doesn't really cost 6 because of the advantage you're getting with this card. So let's talk really quick with our Summons, we've already touched on Mist Dragon and Finrir. Of course, we've got Q-Sith in here just to let us, you know, recycle stuff. That's what Q-Sith's just great. Just bring back forward or backups as needed. The other ones, of course, are Belias here. And Belias is just X-Burst, of course. Choose one forward until the end of the turn. It gains 1000 power, haste, and first strike. Draw a card. And you can choose any forward. So even if, for example, you don't have a forward out there and you just need an extra draw, you can target one of your opponent's forwards and just draw. Right, do it end of turn. Obviously, don't do it before that. That probably wouldn't be the smartest thing, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe situational. I don't know. Ifrit, X-Burst. I like this Ifrit. I know a lot of people do favor, I think, Opus 10's Ifrit. It does not have X-Burst. It does cost 3 or 4. It does do more damage consistently. But I personally like this one more. So this one has X-Burst. It's only cost 1. You choose one forward. You deal at 5,000 damage. If your opponent has received 5 points of damage or more, deal 8,000 damage instead. And because you have so many cards that are causing lots of damage anyway, and you compound this with Terra, you're gonna be getting, at least you'll be getting 5,000. But you know, on average, I think you're gonna be getting maybe more than that. And of course, Terra is gonna do the 7,000. And by more, I mean like this is just gonna compound with the other things that are causing damage. So in this build, I think it works great. And then of course, my favorite summon in the TCG, which I think is everybody's favorite summon, Amaterasu. This card is just incredibly good. We talked about it a million times. Choose one auto ability, cancel its effects. Any card that's just going to cancel something is, in my opinion, already going to be like a really good card and almost a staple if you can fit it in. And of course, if this canceled auto ability triggered from a forward, deal that forward 8,000 damage. So if it's a forward, it's going to deal it 8,000 damage. If it's not a forward, if it's a backup, if it is a monster, you're just going to be able to cancel it, right? And because you're going to be saving yourself a forward if you want to protect something or whatever it might be, this is just that added extra protector here as well. Okay, so let's talk about our backups. Of course, we have our standard samurai, 3 samurais. When samurai enters the field, choose one fire forward. It gains 2,000 power and brave until the end of the turn, which is awesome. So giving other things brave and increasing the power. And then you can dole it, and you can put samurai into the break zone. Choose one forward. It gains 2,000 power and brave until the end of the turn. You can only use this ability if you receive 5 points of damage or more, so it's just an extra boost. You run 3 of them. He's got the multiplier. You can run multiple of these. It's really good. It's pretty much standard now in the samurai builds. The other samurai support, of course, is samurai, another samurai with another multiplier, so you can run again as many of these as you want. You can pay 3 fire, dole, put samurai into the break zone, choose one forward, deal 8,000 damage. You can only use this ability if you control 3 or more drop samurai or card named samurai, which is going to be pretty easy in this build. And again, like, it's just an extra just in case, deal 8,000 damage or something. It's pretty awesome. And again, you can run multiple of these. And then Gosetsu here is X-Burst. When Gosetsu enters the field, you may search for one card named Hien or card named Yuguri and add it to your hand. We're not using Yuguri, but we are using Hien. So he just lets us search for Hien. He's got X-Burst. Hien, of course, is just that power creep card. Pain in the butt to deal with. So adds pressure to your opponent. Just nice to have here. The other 2 backups, of course, are Ace. So Ace here. Ace is just, I like Ace, just a versatile card. Ace is going to deal 4,000 damage, 5,000 damage to an opponent right off the bat. Just plain Ace, and boom, 5k to a forward opponent controls. It's so good. And then the second one is you can pay 3 fire, so you essentially it costs 5. When you do so, you choose one forward your opponent controls. You can deal it 9k. So early game, great forward. Late game, mid to late game, great. Backup, great backup. So it's just all around a good backup to have. And then Kucha spell. This card's really good because cards like Cyan that are going to be dealing, like 3,000 or 4,000 at a time to your opponent forwards. If you're going up against an opponent that uses Minwu, Kuchaspel is going to be the thing to kind of help you bypass that so that you can deal damage to your opponent's forwards. Whereas with Minwu, and I can't remember the exact text, forgive me, but I think a lot of you know, basically Minwu will protect forwards from receiving damage that is less than their power. It's been eroded to make more sense. Again, I don't know it off the top of my head, so I'm not going to say it. But basically, my point, Kuchaspel here is just a nice backup to have to help you deal that damage to cards to opponents that are playing Minwoo in the backfield. So I think that's it. Of course, we touched on Tyro and Shantoto. Shantoto is just always a good card. So let's go ahead and, as we do, let's go ahead and simulate and play and pretend like we're playing against someone. Also, just FYI, not an expensive build. Not really an expensive build. You're looking at roughly $60 to $100. I would say that's like middle of the road. A lot of these cards are pretty easy to come by. You can just pull them pretty easily. Yeah, even the Amaterasu, I myself have been able to pull that one fairly often. I think Krill and Tenzin may be your hardest ones to pull if you just pull from packs or boxes. But even then, odds of pulling have been pretty simple. And of course, Braskus comes... Well, Braskus is supposed to be easier to get. Okay, fair enough. But because the tins are like sold out everywhere, yeah. So... Okay, and you don't need Braskus. Again, Braskus is just an extra hurt on this build here. So anyway, let's go ahead and give this a try. And where's my head is blocking some things. Let me move my big old noggin out of the way here. There we are. Hello. Okay. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Here we go. So let's go ahead and let me sit up here. Let me put my thinking cap on. All right, let's go ahead. And I don't like to mulligan whenever I'm playing and test these things because I always want worst case situation. So I just kind of go with whatever comes first, and I like to pretend to go first. So we're gonna go ahead and start off our build. Oh my gosh, this is already a great hand. This hand is so good. Oh, this hand's so good. It's so good. And pretty often the hands are going to be really good anyway when you're when you're doing this. Let me do a quick audio check on here. I think we're doing good. Yeah, okay, we're doing good here. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to go ahead and discard our black Portois. And we're just going to go boom! 9k forward to opponent right in your face. Don't care if they play a backup. It's already good. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to discard Terra there for a Samurai. And of course, right now this is like at 11k. So if your opponent tried to do something and bring it like that for some reason could do 9k, it's right now at 11 because of this. So, oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. That's only Fire Force. Just kidding. Okay, well, you know, then I guess, you know, Shadow Lord would die. But most likely then I can be able to do anything. Okay, so... Enough of that. Pass the turn. Your opponent's probably crying because now they have to deal turn 1 with a 9k forward. And then in this case, you know, we're loving people, so we try to bring comfort and joy. And if it was safe to touch other people, you know, maybe give them a nice pat on the back with their permission. Say it's going to be okay. You'll get through this. All right, next turn. Draw my 2 here. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and activate. I always forget to activate. So, if our opponent does have something out there, which they probably will, and may not need to Amaterasu right now. Amaterasu, I think, in this case is kind of being our protector just because of the sheer craziness of what we have right now. But we can either play Samurai, or we can maybe do Gosetsu and get some recycling done. And I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to discard Samurai. We're going to go ahead and do Gosetsu. And we're going to go ahead and view and look for a Hien. Where are you, sir? There we go. Boop. Hien. All right. Let's go ahead and give this a shuffle. And... Ooh, I don't know if I even want to play my Amaterasu, my ace right now. I think we're good, honestly. I think we're really good right now. So we'd probably go swinging in. Actually, does this have Brave? No, it doesn't currently, but we can either, depending on what our opponent has, keep this here as a giant wall, because Shadow Lord is also going to be a wall, or we can swing in for 1. But say we swing in for 1, and then say our opponent also decides to just hit us 2. Of course, we get Tyro, which is credible, so let's go ahead and search for Tyro. And what do we want to get? We want a forward. Let's see here. Let's do... Oops, no, we don't want you, Krill. Or do we want Krill? No, I'm probably going to want either Cyan the Crayon or Iroha. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and go with Cyan the Crayon. Let's go ahead and get Cyan here. Because this is already going to do a lot of... This is already going to mess up our opponent here. Okay. So then that's it. We're going to go ahead and activate all. Go ahead and draw our dude. And... Ooh, this is fun. We could do Lonnie. We could do Lonnie to play with our opponent there. But instead, let's go ahead and... play one... Actually, we probably don't need Lonnie. That's just more too techy. That's just for fun. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And we could go ahead and... maybe we just go ahead and get Iroha out there right now. Just to get an extra fire out there. And we could get Cyan as well. And if we want to be super aggressive, because at this point, we probably don't need Ace. And we actually maybe don't need Heian either. So we'll keep Ace just in case... I did not mean to rhyme. We'll keep Ace just in case. And we'll go ahead and bring out Cyan as well. And yeah, Cyan, of course, is going to let us search for another job. Samurai. And in this case, we are actually, so it really doesn't matter because we didn't lose anything anyway. So we can either do a backup, which I don't think we need, or we can just get another, what is it? Another Heian that we ended up discarding anyway. So sure, why not? Let's just grab Heian. Let's shuffle. Okay, great. So now our opponent has to stare down this madness right here. And we're probably just going to go ahead and swing in for 9. That's 2 points. At this point, I don't know if our opponent would hit us, but let's just say they pretend that they do. Sure. And we're going to go ahead and activate all our stuff. Okay. Now we're just going to get ridiculous, right? This is just absurd. I think at this point, we don't even need Ace or an Amaterasu. It's perhaps a greedy play, but I'm just going to go ahead and just get rid of that Amaterasu. We're going to go ahead and play Heian here. Yeah, the deck is already... I mean, this already right here is pretty gross, right? So... Oh my gosh. So if we're going to go ahead and we're going to attack here with Iroha, and what's going to end up happening is that your opponent's forwards are going to end up taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 damage. We again would attack with Cyan, and they would do another 5,000 damage right there. So already, and we want to attack with Cyan last here, between the samurais, because if they want to block, like, if we hit with Iroha first, we're going to end up doing that 5,000 to bring down their forwards power anyway. So right there, we're already doing 10,000 to all the forwards. That's ridiculous. And then if they didn't block, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Yeah, it's nuts. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Anyway, we'll just block. We'll just attack here. Anyway, you get the idea. That was really gross. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do one more hand, just to see what it looks like. And cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and we went first last time. Let's go ahead and pretend and go second this time. So we'll say our opponent has a backup and a forward. It doesn't matter to us because we've got... Boom! Shadow Lord is so ridiculous. Oh my gosh, this card is just ridiculous. And then let's see. Do we want to play a... We do want a backup. Our backups are okay right now. I think what we may end up doing, we might end up chucking Cyan the Crayon and just doing Samurai right now. Yeah, I think that's our play for now. Okay. So with that, we would pass. Of course, Shadow Lord now is still acting as our wall. So we're still good. Go ahead and draw our 2. And this is looking good. Well, we got another Cyan the Crayon. So I think what we may want to do, actually, is we could play Cyan, but we could... hit this one here. We could do that. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to... Well, I don't need Black Tortoise, right? Black Tortoise is there as extra pressure, but he's not needed necessarily. And I am going to go ahead and play a... I think we're going to do Gosetsu, and let's go ahead and look for our Hien. Where are you, Hien? There you are. Looking dashing. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We would not need to attack because we're going to keep a wall up. And I do play greedy a bit. I do have to be careful, but I'm just going to pass. I don't know. If we did take damage, I'll just pretend we'll take damage. And let's go ahead and draw our 2. Oh my gosh, looks so good. Oh, let's activate our backups. All right, this is pretty good. So let's go ahead and discard 2. Let's get our samurai out there. Let's go 1, 2, and I don't want to do 3, 4 and get Hien out there right now. I do like that. If you control a samurai other than Hien, Hien gains 1000 power and brave. So he's not going to dull, which is awesome. He's another 9k. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. We'll hit with our Shadow Lord and we'll pass. And then why not? We'll pretend to take some damage. We'll go ahead and draw our 2 cards. And yeah, this is just looking so good. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go ahead and do 4, 5. I want to get my Tyro out there now, and I'm gonna search for a forward. Probably want to get Tenzin at this point. And shuffle, and again attack again, and why not? Let's just go ahead and take some damage just to kind of even things out. Ooh, X burst. I don't know do I have a summon in here? I do not. That's okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and activate. Draw our 2. Oh, good. Okay, so good. So let's go ahead and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I need anything in my break zone for Kusis? We'll hold on to Kusis just in case. 4, and let's go 5, 6. Get Tenzin out there just because Tenzin's amazing. All right, we hit again, and turn, and let's look at our top. And we're looking for 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it says 1 job samurai or card named samurai among them, and add it to our hand. Do we want a backup or do we want Tenzin? I would say backup or Tenzin. I would probably get Tenzin just to clear the bad draw, would be my ability. I mean, my play. And then return these on the bottom, shuffled. I wish it didn't show us that. I don't like that. We'll pretend we didn't see our deck though. So yeah, that's how that's gonna act out. Again, if Tenzin gets destroyed, we're just gonna get a backup anyway, which is really incredible. So let's just pretend that they are like, oh heck no, we don't want to deal with Tenzin. Tenzin goes to the break zone, and then we're just gonna be able to add 1 job samurai or card name samurai cost 3 or less in the break zone into our hand. So we can go ahead and get let's see here. I'm actually gonna get Cyan just in case, I think. Or no, let's actually get another samurai back up here. Put Cyan back in here. All right, so let's go ahead and let us draw. Draw it. And we can also, of course, we can go 1, 2. Actually, let's just do 1. Let's do Ifrit. Why not on something? Oh no, yeah, we'll do Ifrit. Probably take out something on our opponent, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Sure, but we want to draw. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Right there already. We can just, oh my gosh. So we could play ace, right? And then we could easily pay the 3 and deal 9k to something if we really needed to, which is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Or we can just go 1, 2, 3. We can discard 2 for Braskus if we want to be mean. So, but that is not. Let's go ahead and bring Cyan out there, just cause. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and discard. Let's get Ace out there. Our Ace is just gonna let us do 5,000 damage to something anyway. And again, we can just go ahead and attack. And because Cyan is out here, Hien is gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 damage to something. So already something's going to die because of Ace and our Cyan here mixed. And then we again attack. And if our opponent isn't, by this point, just obliterated, yeah, it just keeps getting worse here, right, for them. Can always just bring out Braskus. We can always play Q-Sith. Can add something back to our hand. I don't know. We can always get Gilgamesh because why not at this point? We're just like, at this point, it's just like, it's out of control. It's going to be a hard recovery for our opponent. So yeah, this is it. This is, again, the deck profile called Earth's Fury Samurais. I like it. What do you all think? Are you a fan of the Samurai builds? I personally really like the Samurai builds. I also like the Pirate and the Ninja builds. They all kind of like feel a bit of the same to me as well. But of course, my favorite being the March Ritz builds. Go check out my videos for my other deck profiles. You can find those in the video down in my YouTube channel. And then I think we'll probably end up being back tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not gonna promise. Something may happen or occur. But if anything, we'll probably be back tomorrow, opening a box of something. And yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, I almost forgot, and I was just thinking about this. Links to betterhelp.com. Apologies for not mentioning that. Mental health is super important. Take care of yourself. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves, getting enough sleep, rest, exercising, social distancing, wearing a mask, doing the right thing, showing kindness, showing love. Again, remember, you're all wonderful. You're all beautiful. You're all loved. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.